What's up, everybody? It's Camel Gaming back for the fourth installment of our talent tree review. Right now, we actually have Bounty Hunter Powertech. If you haven't checked out the other talent trees, please do check it out. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what class you guys plan to play. Bounty Hunter Powertech is actually one of the trees that was extremely difficult for me to pick. There's basically two DPS types you can pretty much go. You can go very high up in the advanced prototype tree, but you can also go very high up in the Powertech tree. I chose advanced prototype because I wanted to mix up a little. We had several range classes already, and advanced prototype is a beefy as hell melee type. It's basically you just have flamethrowers. Most of your stuff is fire skills, and you just burn stuff around you up. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to be Bounty Hunter, Powertech, Melee DPS. So we're going to start with this Prototype Burn Enhancers. I chose this, increases the critical chance of all fire effects by 6%. Obviously, as using this class, you're going to be doing all fire spells, so this is extremely useful. Moving on, Prototype Electro Surge reduces the cooldown of Electro Dart by 10 seconds. What Electro Dart does is actually a ability that stuns the enemy. It's I believe it's a 1 minute cooldown, so anything that can reduce that by however many seconds would be great. So you can use that whether it's in combat or if you're like, let's say you're playing Hutball and you want to stun someone so you can get past them. That's what that can be used for as well. We're going to have Puncture. Rail Shot ignores 60% of the target's armor. What Rail Shot does, as a reminder, it fires a very powerful shot at the target that deals X weapon damage. You can only use this for incapacitated targets and targets suffering from periodic damage. So basically, you're going to have some sort of damage over time spell in order to use Rail Shot. We're going to go with Advanced Tools. Reduces the cooldown of Flamethrower by 3 seconds and Grapple by 10 seconds. So Flamethrower, what it is, it just does damage in like a cone effect. So anything in front of from the V view of the character would take damage and also just burn them. Grapple, on the other hand, what Grapple does, it fires a grapple line that pulls a target to the bounty hunter and generates a high amount of threat, cannot be used on targets in cover. So if you ever played World of Warcraft, it's kind of like the Death Knight with Death Grip. So that's always pretty cool. Since the Bounty Hunter Powertech wants people in their face, so you can basically burn the crap out of them. It's a little bit different as well because even though you're burning them and using spells, it is a melee class, but not really, because you're still using abilities that kind of shoot from your guns. So it's a little different from anything else. You're gonna have Hot Iron, increases the damage dealt by Flame Burst and Retractable Blade by 6%. Retractable Blade is something we'll go over momentarily. And Flame Burst, on the other hand, Flame Burst basically just bursts a flame at the target that deals X elemental damage. Next, we're gonna skip Hitman. Reduces the cooldown of Quell by 1 second. What Quell does is like an interrupt spell, kind of like a shock from a shaman in World of Warcraft. You have Pneumonic Boots, increases movement speed by 15%, while High Energy Gas Cylinder is active. High Energy Gas Cylinder is the ability that you would always have active if you're going to play using this advanced prototype spec. And that's just, you can basically have one cylinder in place. So I believe you can use High Energy Gas Cylinder. Let's see, I think you have Ion. So you have Ion Gas Cylinder, and then you have Combustible Gas Cylinder. So if you're playing advanced prototype, you're going to be using High Energy Gas Cylinder all the time. You have Retractable Blade. It just basically shoots the enemy, but it creates a bleed effect for internal damage over seconds. So that's how you're able to use your rail shots. This is just an enhancement for High Energy Gas Cylinder. It gives you a chance to vent heat every 6 seconds, so you're able to use more abilities. You have Serrated Blades, increases the damage of Retractable Blades bleed effect. You have Flame Barrage. Flame Burst has an X% chance, and Immolate has a Y% chance to make your next Rocket Punch free. This effect lasts 2 seconds. So basically your rotation is probably going to be using your Rocket Punch as much as possible. Right in the beginning, your Rocket Punch allows you to strike the target with a heavy punch that deals X kinetic damage. However, there is a cooldown on it. It's a 9-second cooldown. So It's a 9-second cooldown. Also, I believe it takes some heat as well. And then you would use your other skills like your retractable blade to keep the dot on, and then you use like flamethrower, etc., etc. Moving on, we have prototype flamethrower, flame burst, and flame sweep have an X% chance to grant prototype flamethrower, increasing the damage dealt by your next flamethrower by 10%, stacks up to 5 times. You have hydraulic overrides, grant 1 second of immunity from movement pairing effects, and increasing movement speed at 30%. This is pretty cool, especially if you're doing hut ball where you're trying to capture a ball from one side to the other. You can use this so that you basically can't get stunned. I guess you can get stunned, but you can't get slowed, so you can just basically be an excellent carrier. You have charge gauntlets, rocket punch, and retractable blades have a 25% chance to make your next rail shot critically hit automatically. That's extremely awesome. You have code events. This basically allows you to heal over time. You have prototype weapon systems, increases the critical strike damage of rocket punch, flame burst, and immolate by 30%. We're going to skip stabilized armor, so just because you're not going to get stunned a whole lot, that's pretty much why I didn't really want to put skills into this. This build is a pure PvP and leveling build, so I want you guys to do as much damage as possible. And then we have immolate, sprays a target with fuel and ignites it into a fireball that deals X elemental damage. So that's basically how far we get into the advanced prototype. We put 31 points into that, so I believe we have about 10 points left. So this should get you to level 40 of what points to put in. And then we're going to put in 5 points each into shield tech and pyrotech. Shield tech, I actually chose this increased damage done by all fire effects. We definitely want that, and we also want the increased damage of rail shot by 6%. We skipped this. We skipped anything else here. I didn't find this very useful. None of it is really geared for the Bounty Hunter Powertech DPS style. With Powertech, we picked Iron Fist and integrated Cardiac Package. Cardiac Package increases endurance by 3%. It's definitely pretty useful. It gives you extra HP, extra life. And then you have Iron Fist, increasing damage dealt by Rocket Punch, which is your core ability. So this basically concludes it, guys, for the Bounty Hunter Powertech. Like I said, you can pretty much go for a Powertech build, throwing bombs and stuff. I can imagine that being pretty fun, but I think this advanced prototype is going to be an extremely sick build. It's going to be so much damage, and it's also just a buttload of fire skills that I think is going to be pretty amazing. So check out my other videos. Please like the video. Please like this video. Subscribe to my channel. Tell me what you think, and leave your comments below. Alright, thanks. Peace out.